So we as hosts have been thinking about why the Indie Game Riot and why the indie game community is so important to us and what it's done to help us and everything like that. And, Rev and Tech, they gave their thoughts in these other update videos. Excuse any noise, this is one of the things. Eventually all of this will get upgraded. But so first of all, the indie game community, why it's important to me is it's for someone who doesn't have a lot of money, hence the reason we're asking for money in this IndieGoGo campaign. Indie developers, they have so much passion. They just want people to play the games. And a lot of times that turns out being games that are not $60. We talk about why are games really $60 when you think about it, like the AAA titles and everything like that. And indie devs, they just want you to play the game, and they want you to pay a price that's reasonable, for one. And even if it's not reasonable, even if it's like way underselling their game, it's just because it's about the passion. The indie game community is about passion, it's about camaraderie, and it's about supporting everyone, each other. So that's why the indie game community is important to me. It's really, as a gamer, it's changed my life, because I still play AAA games. I love AAA games, but they're expensive, and a lot of times they're letdowns when it's like a lot of times it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. But with indie games, they use the most innovative, creative ideas because they don't have any shackles. AAA publishers, a lot of times they want things a certain way because they think the masses. It's made for the masses, not for people who are going to absolutely love their game. And it turns out a lot of times, we've seen like Minecraft and Braid and Castle Crashers, all these, the original, I don't know, Super Meat Boy. I don't know if they're original, but like some of the first big hits in indie games that like the masses do love creativity and things that would have never been in a AAA title before. The creativity is probably, I don't know if it's higher, but it's definitely up there as far as why I love the indie game community. Now, as far as the Indie Game Riot goes, this project is my baby, and it means so much of me creatively, because I have with the help of Rev and Tech, I can morph this into something that I think is on par with the creativity that the indie game devs have brought to me. I don't know how to code a game, but I love games. So this is something that I can kind of use my creativity with things I do know what to do with gaming. And on top of that, I can use this to support those indie devs, the devs that have brought me so much happiness and joy. And I couldn't have done this without Rev and Tech either. I mean, I can set up the show, I can bring out the ideas and everything like that. But Rev was brought on first. I've known Tech for longer than Rev, but Rev was brought on first because I kind of put a call out there to indie gaming enthusiasts about, hey, I'm looking to do this podcast, and he called up. We talked over Skype and everything like that, and we really clicked. We were coming up with ideas. He helped me brainstorm and everything like that, and then I was looking for a second person because 3 people dynamic is usually pretty interesting to get different ideas and everything like that from. And Tech we brought on later. I've actually known Tech for years, and I brought him on because he was in some other podcasts I've done, and I realized I was partners with him through our Let's Play channels and everything like that, just kind of promoting each other. And I was like, wait a minute, he loves indie games. He plays indie games. One of the things he plays is No Moria, which is an indie game that's still in early alpha. And I was like, why? He's been in another podcast. He knows what he's doing. He's an audiophile. He works with video and everything like that, and he's brought that to the table as well. So, thanks, Rev and Tech. I really couldn't have done this without you at all. And even on a more personal note, as far as Indie Game Riot goes, this is more like about me. I want to support the indie games and everything like that, but honestly, there's 2 things I wanted to bring to it. One is I wanted to do something with journalism that I could control, because everyone should be, and rightly so, suspicious of journalism, gaming journalism, or any journalism in general, because you never know where the sources are coming from, or what kind of connections they have to those sources and everything like that. But this is something that I can control, and I know that I can put as much transparency out about our show in connection with any of the games that we feature, as there needs to be. And I know that, I personally know that all the games that we feature are games that we feel are truly special and that should be featured and should be supported and should be bought because they're worth it. And then on the other hand, as far as kind of a more selfish thing, this project being my baby, my third baby, because I have 2 kids, but my metaphorical baby, it represents a chance for me to support my family doing something that I love, in the future. If this gets big enough, if you guys help us do this, and we get to a point where we can change, we can turn into a much bigger journalistic entity, and we can start helping devs sell games and everything like that, and just get a little bit of revenue from that. I can start, I can support my family doing something I love. So that's on a more selfish, but I still think appropriate, at least in my mind. I'm sorry if you don't, but reason why I wanted to do this. So there's a tons of reasons why I wanted to do this, but and why Indie Game Riot is important to me. And and actually, no, just thinking off the top of my head now, another thing too, just it really makes me feel good that going into it, it's not something I was thinking like, oh, I can't wait to get really awesome comments from people, but when they happen, you're like, oh man, that makes you feel so good about what you're doing. You see in some of the testimonials in the main part of our campaign that people love the show, and it's helping indie devs, and it's helping the audience, it's helping indie game fans, the gamers, find games that they want to play. It's connecting them together, and seeing that happen before your eyes, just people telling you about it, is amazing. It's an amazing feeling, and I can't wait to see what we can do more. So I'm hoping that this will definitely this campaign is successful, because I want this to succeed. I want to make the indie gaming industry a better place. So that's why the indie game community and Indie Game Riot is important to me. If anyone out there has any of their thoughts, they listen to the show and they want to give their shots, please send them to us, joshinggaming@gmail.com. You can even send it to. We also have like a forum on our website, the one that we don't want to use because it's not really that great right now, igrpodcast.webs.com, or any of the Twitter, anything like that, at IGR Podcast, all that sort of stuff. So just let us know. So thanks again. Thank you for those of you who have supported already, and those of you who are thinking about supporting. Please, I encourage you to give a little bit, or at least tell all your gaming friends or anyone that you know at all that will be willing to even donate $1, anything at all. It all helps. So thank you so much.